Hello friends, Techman Pat here. We've got ourselves a little bit of a dirt report on a new telco provider. This is Buddy Telco, and Buddy Telco is a subdivision or sub-brand from Aussie Broadband. I think a lot of people can feel that Aussie Broadband has changed in the last few years. Ever since they went public at the ASX and now they have shareholders, a lot of people can make a little bit of an opinion, and I'm kind of veiling my words in a roundabout way to say that they have changed. They're not the same Aussie Broadband that they were before, and right now it feels like, in my opinion, that it's all about shareholder value. So, what is Buddy Telco, the new sub-brand division from Aussie Broadband? Well, let's dive in, let's talk about it, and I'll share my thoughts if this is actually going to change the landscape, because it's supposed to be cheaper. It's going to be a lot of self-diagnosing of problems with potentially very little support, and it's cheaper. Is it going to be cheaper enough to justify not having that much support? Well, let's have a look. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let's get started by rolling the intro. Aussie Broadband sub-brand is called Buddy Telco. We can have a quick look at what the financial review tells us about it. This article is actually locked behind a paywall, but really the first line is all we need to know right now. Aussie Broadband will aggressively pursue customers at its larger rivals, including Telstra and Optus, with a new brand, Buddy Telco, which offers significantly cheaper broadband services. Now, when we do go through the details, this is not significantly cheaper. It's again a really weird way to veil in price cuts. So let's jump onto Buddy Telco's website and talk about it. It is dog related with a little Wi-Fi icon. I think it's kind of cute, and the website is super simple. So how does this work? Well, Buddy Telco will sign you up in minutes. Broadband via the NBN is really simple to actually swap around providers. You can swap providers left, right, and center. All they need to do is jump into the back end and swap your connection over. Nobody has to come to your POI and disconnect wires and reconnect them like they used to with ADSL. Ongoing value. Is it cheaper? It's a little bit cheaper. We'll get to that in a moment. It is still Australian owned and based, technically speaking, because it's owned by Aussie Broadband. It is the same NBN network. It's basically Aussie Broadband with a color change and a logo change. And there is support. The support itself is only chat-based, which is okay. The times are fairly limited. I don't think you get after hours or after work hours support, so you'll have to, I guess, bear with a problem for a little longer to the next day. But the support is there. It's not like you're being left in a lurch. And to be honest, I've been using chat support more often with companies than I have been phone, just because it's quicker and easier. I get a response, I can type it out, and it's just a bit cleaner, right? And I can message throughout a longer period of time while I'm doing something else. Absolutely don't mind that. But let's have a look at the plans. And time. You may have seen the Launtel name gently kicked around on this channel a few times, but I finally made the swap. My NBN connection is now serviced by Launtel, and I'm going to happily recommend it to you. I've been absolutely stoked with the performance thus far. So if you're looking for a very flexible, fast, low ping for all that gaming goodness NBN supplier with great customer service and not one of the big players who see you as a number, then check out Launtel. Use the code TechmanPat below to sign up, and you'll get a $25 credit on your account, and your NBN connection will be swapped within a few hours with absolutely no hassle. Launtel is flexible with no lock-in contracts, with plenty of features for the techie folks out there, so check the links below. Thanks, and back to the video. Buddy will use the same infrastructure and systems that Aussie Broadband, I guess, is powered by, but without the costs and overheads of the call centers and maybe some other bits and pieces. But this gives us a really good view into what prices could be if we didn't have those amenities. So we have here the standard plan, NBN 2510, 65. It actually becomes a lot cheaper than any other brand. But this is only because recently, July the 1st, we kicked off the price increases, which is just ridiculous. Now, we've got the $75 plan for the 50 down and 20 up. And this is where I think it gets a little bit, I find this very frustrating. In big letters, it says 75 and then 89 for this one. I'll talk about this in a moment, but 75 for the 100 down, 20 up. And on average, you'll get 98 and 16 pretty much on par in the evening. But right here in small letters, it says for 6 months, it's 85 after that. So 75 for 6 months and then 85 after that. If we look at the same plan on Aussie Broadband right now, it's 95. So it's a $10 saving from the 85 and a $20 saving for the first 6 months, which is, I know, I mean, a lot of people, $10 a month is actually significant, but the cost of internet is still ridiculous. This $65 plan, the same one with Aussie Broadband, is $79, which is so high. It is embarrassingly high that Australia allows a plan like this, a basic internet connection, to be priced at $79, let alone, okay, $65, a little bit lower, but just insane pricing. Now, the 50 down plan, which is what most people are on, is $75 with no 6 month sync. That's just clean $75. And at Aussie Broadband, it's actually $89. So that's a significant difference. I think a lot of people will jump on this, but I think mainly everyone will jump onto this plan right here. This is the 1,000 down and 50 up. It has a typical evening speed of 600 down and 41 up, but it is priced at $99 after 3 months, kicking off at $89 first, of course, and $99 is less than a lot of people pay for the 100 down, 20 up, but you'll get 1,000 down and 50 up if you've got fiber to the premises. Now, the normal price for this is $119 with Aussie Broadband. What's this going to do to a lot of other brands? Is this actually going to churn customers from other brands and bring them down to Buddy? Or is a lot of people who are on Aussie Broadband going to churn and go to Buddy? This is the question the market and the shareholders will be asking. Is Aussie Broadband about to lose customers and drop onto this company, onto Buddy? Well, yes, potentially. But what I've found out is Buddy will have the same margins as Aussie Broadband. So even though you're paying less, you're getting less, but Aussie Broadband is still getting the same profit margin. So whether you're on Buddy or with Aussie Broadband, the only loser out of this is you for paying more for Aussie getting the same service apart from call centers. So if you never call and you don't want to call and you've had a service with Aussie for a long time and you've had no issues, there probably shouldn't really be a reason why you shouldn't drop to Buddy and pay less and potentially manage your own, I don't know, setup. So what does that actually mean? Well, if you're having connection issues, you can actually go in and kick your own connection, reset your connection, and affect a lot of the things that you would call Aussie Broadband to do. You get all of those buttons inside the app. The thing that I find funny is that you can already do that in the Aussie Broadband app. You don't need Buddy to do all the things. So at the end of the day, is this a good deal? In my mind, if you're an Aussie Broadband customer, you've never had any issues with the internet, Buddy is a great option to drop to save a bit of money. And of course, with the inflationary times we have at the moment, the cost of living going up, this is going to be a really, really tempting option for a lot of people if they see it advertised. You still get the Aussie Broadband internet, I guess, in a roundabout way. You don't get the call centers, but it is a lot cheaper. I can probably say, yeah, go for it. Now, the other thing is this really that much better than other brands? Because we haven't really compared other brands. We've only compared Aussie Broadband. Now, if we look at other brands, the difference is about $5 to $10, depending on the plan. So you're going to ask your question, if you're already with somebody like Launtel or LeapTel or anyone else that is around this price, is it worth dropping down for less support? That's a question from me to you. So I leave you with this. If you are somebody who is technical and doesn't want to rely on the support of your RSP or haven't had any issues in the past, this is probably a good plan for you. What do you think? Would you be willing to pay for extra phone support? Because this is what they make it out to seem like, hey, we've cut costs by removing the call center, but I think they've cut costs somewhere else too. Would you be happy to manage and reset your own connections when you can? I already do that. I used to do that on the Aussie Broadband app. I can go in and reset my connection. A lot of RSPs already give you this option. So Buddy just seems like a no-brainer at this stage. Let me know your thoughts below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you all in another one. Bye.